Greetings Internet and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're all doing fantastically well. This will be episode 8. After the last episode I had to check, didn't I? So this is definitely episode 8 of Ambush Mission 2. Yay, got that right. So yeah, we're just about to start operations after taking out Lars the sniper. And we'll go down to the map in a moment, but remember to hit the like, the subscribe if you enjoy what I do, and any comments much appreciated, and hit that little ding-a-ling notification bell. So let's go down to the map and see what's going on. Okay, so in the last lot of action phases, just as a recap, we crossed over the stream here with Cornwall and Fitzpatrick. Cornwall lobbed a grenade, which actually landed here and had no actual immediate effect. And then Dylan, encouraged by Ambrose, moved through and took a shot and took out Lars, which then meant there was no active Germans on the map, which takes us back to operations. At which point Ambrose, the squad leader, turns around to Hudson and says, "Right lad, you got to carry the wounded dude. We've got to get to the rail station. Your job is now to carry him." But Sarge, I can do so much more. No one gets left behind. Not if I can help it. Not on my watch. And with that in mind, that's what we will do. First thing will happen at Hudson crawls, just in case, into a hex there, which is H17.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
And there's my Alexa coming and joining in the conversation. I forgot to switch her off. Right, so that's that Alexa switch off. I don't know, maybe you guys can answer the question why they keep name wasn't mentioned yet she still butts in. But anyway, moving on. So Hudson moves into that hex and it had a sighting event, but it was a sighting one which we already had, which we now know means nothing happens. So that will now be marked as none. Okay, he has to stand up to be able to carry a guy. I'm going to remove the prone marker. Obviously, if he's incapacitated, he's prone. And I'm then going to move Hudson carrying Gibson into I-17. No, my luck, this will actually activate somebody, won't it? That's none. Okay. Now, I moved him one hex. I have to roll a dice, and on a 0 he actually dies. So 3, he's okay. Alright, I'm pausing at that point there for him. I'm going to get a rest of my assault squad across over here. So Bell stands up. You have to be standing to cross the stream. They have to pay movement points, so he goes into that hex there. We know K17. Oh, it's actually an event. Let me go back on that. It was nothing because we weren't looking at events when the other two crossed, but let's have a look, make sure what kind of event it is. Okay. I've been using this device enough now, I should know how it works. It's an event. It is a die roll. Event. So I rolled an 8 and a 6, which is a 14 on the random events. That says 008. Going back to the paragraph book, 008. Oh, quite a long bit of text. Right, a German Messerschmitt 109 fighter plane makes a strafing run. That don't sound too good. Okay, gain 1 VP, roll 1 die to determine the hex row of the flight path. Well, that takes me to 4 BP, but fucking Luftwaffe, where the bloody hell's the US Air Force? I thought we had air superiority. So far we've had an observation aeroplane and our bloody ME-109. For Pete's sakes. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, so roll 1 die to determine the hex row of the flight path. Alright, it's 1, which is hex row F. So we're going along F, along that hex row there. Okay, each US soldier that can see any hex in the listed hex row conducts a PC check. Any hex in that hex row, I think that's pretty much most of them. Because that's, yeah, the only person who probably might not be able to is Evans down here. So, okay. Those that succeed in this check may immediately conduct 1 snap fire at the aeroplane. Aeroplane? What the hell's an aeroplane? The aeroplane. These fires are free and have no effect on the soldier's number of turns, nor do they cause rounds to ensue, if currently in operations, which we are. After these fires, each US soldier that is in a clear road or brush hex in or adjacent to the listed hex row is automatically hit and suffers damage as if struck by a heavy machine gun fire. Blimmin' heck. Unless the plane is shot down before it passes over the soldier. A soldier that is able to fire may fire at any hex he can see in the flight path and adds 10 to the hex distance to represent the altitude. When fired upon, the aeroplane is considered a small vehicle in clear terrain. If the aeroplane is hit and suffers a light penetration or worse, it goes down in flames just off the map edge. Otherwise, it's unaffected. Then it's got written in there, Mission 2 only. If the ME-109 is shot down, go to Condition 6. Great. Okay, the perception check. So we'll start with Cornwall and Fitzpatrick. Cornwall has got a perception of 5. Rolls an 8. He can't see the aeroplane. I can't hear it. Fitzpatrick, perception of 3. He rolls an 8. So both of those aren't able to fire. Bell, in the stream. He rolls a 3. His perception is 6, so he's okay. Evans can't see that hex row. There's too much anywhere on that hex row, so he's not going to be joining in this. Hudson has a perception of 1, rolls a 4. He's too busy carrying the body. Dylan, perception of 3, rolls a 3. So he's able to fire. Ambrose rolls a 6, perception of 7. He's able to fire. Okay, so they all take a snapshot. So we'll start with Bell over here again. Range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes plus 10 is 15. 15 hex range, and Bell is armed with a semi-automatic rifle, and it's a snapshot. So first of all, we have to determine if his gun jams. 5% chance. He rolls 98. No, the gun is not jamming. So then, at 15 hex range, his class is a long range. He needs a 3, and it's a small target. Snap fire is -2. A small vehicle is +2, so they cancel out, so it's 3. He rolls a 1, so he actually hits. Okay, so I've hit it with a semi-automatic rifle. That means the penetration is light. I need a 6 to 9 to shoot this plane down. And he rolls a 7. We just shot down an ME-109. Well done, Bell. Okay. If it survived the fire, I'd have got shut upon. It would have been shut upon. I'd have been shot quite severely, but it didn't happen. So if the airplane suffers a light penetration or worse, it goes down in flames just off the map edge. Mission 9, if the ME-109 is shot down, go to condition 6. So I go to condition 6. So the airplane's still not on the map, but I'll go to condition 6. I still have to check for Bell ammo, 25%. He rolls 61, so his ammo is good as well. Well, that was potentially catastrophic, but we go now to condition 6. Okay, so I've removed all the event markers. I've changed the condition marking on my squad record now to 6. This is as high as it will go. I've changed the cartridge in the mission cartridge viewing sleeve. Condition 6 is now, put it in upside down, but hey ho. Right, that's it. And now I've got to do checks starting in lowest numerical order on these hexes to see if anything actually happens. So we're now in condition 6. So K16 is none. F17 none. G17 is an event, which means I ignore that other than by placing a event marker in that hex. Okay, so we're on to I-17. Our roll dice there. I-17, none. Then we're on to, I've just done I-17. We've got K-17 in the stream, which caused this aeroplane to come down. None. And then finally, we've got K-19, which is also none. Okay. So, whew, that was scary. But as I said, where the bloody hell's the US Air Force? We've had an observation plane, now an ME-109. Phew. And we're still in operations. I think it's time for a cup of tea. I need to reward Bell with some combat points. And it doesn't actually mention aeroplane in the combat points, but it does mention a car. And I'm going to treat it as a car because I had to get the class as a small vehicle. And in the campaign system, he says just trying to find the page. Yeah, knockout car, KOC 4. So I'm going to put a KOP and knocked out plane 4. Whew. We're still in operations. We continue. That was Bell crossing the stream, or trying to cross the stream. He now joins his lads in K16. Now we're on condition, a new condition. Actually, we checked that, didn't we? There was nothing. Yeah, none. Should have written it down. None. Okay. I'm now going to bring up Evans. Hayes. K18. There's a new condition. Better check it. None. That's K16 and K18. Right, this is stand up to cross the stream. I've got to check K17 again because we're now on a different. Yeah, that is none, but that's what brought in the aeroplane. So, okay, none. And he comes and joins. So we're all in this little veil here. Okay, well, we're going to push Evans on. He goes now into low crawl. Low crawl is ASL term for you. And he goes into K15. There's also none. Bell going into crawl. And goes into L15. That's none. So the condition will not raise any higher. We are at maximum level of conditions. Fitzpatrick moves into J15. That's his event. I've rolled an 8 and a 6, which is 14. Event 14. Sighting 7, 3, 2, 1. We've had sighting, no, we haven't had sighting 7. Sighting 7, 3, 2, 1. Oh, what have we seen? What have we seen? 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So there's the US soldier with the highest perception that can see hex Q10. Okay, PQ10, which is actually just off the map there. I've just marked it with a little pink cube. Anyone can see there. All this trees, crests, everything's away. No one can see there, so no one's taken a perception check. 3, 2, 1. Is it right? So it doesn't get marked as an event either. Okay. So that was J15. Okay, I've got to place an event marker where that occurred. That's what I had to just double check that. Because when to place these event markers is probably the place I have to keep referring to most, because different places when you're doing your action rounds and during the movement. Anyway, so that gets placed there. All right, Cornwall then moves up. He'll also go into crouch. And we'll move and join Evans. Okay, I think it's about time we actually scoped out a building. So we will move Fitzpatrick forward. into J14. Still crouching, being cautious, J14. Because what the intelligence that we receive from High Command is not quite true, is it? There are Germans around. We're not expecting any resistance. Well, we've had a sniper. Alright, so J14. Something happens. Sighting 3, 103. Okay, so we've got to go to paragraph 103. Right, roll 1 die. 0 to 8, no effect. 9, contact PC check. So 0 to 8, no effect. Roll a 6. Okay, so just place an event marker there. But that was sighting 3, so we know that is giving me intelligence. We're hearing some sounds. There is another German lurking around. Okay. No, we won't. We'll move Bell forward. Bell moves into L14. Just in case this all activates, I'm keeping Bell in command of Fitzpatrick, because if Fitzpatrick got into there and Bell was here, he would have been out of command. So Bell moves forward into L14. That says none. Okay. Bell says, go on, lad. Up you go. In you go. Fitzpatrick enters the building, which we know as J13. That says event. Which is 11. Event 11. Paragraph 304. Reinforcements. A jeep with a mounted medium machine gun and a driver enters in hex A17 or A5, your choice. I think I better pause at this point and see what extras I get. Wow. Okay, so it tells me I have a choice of bringing it on A17 or A5. Well, A17 is here and A5 is all the way up there, so I think I'd rather bring it on here where it can support me. So we'll bring it in along the road, and there's a medium machine gun in the Jeep, and the driver is a reinforcement driver. I get one of these little cards for him. He doesn't have much information on it other than, well, he's good at driving. That's about it. He can fire the machine gun if the vehicle's stationary. So I'm going to, actually, let me stick that under him at the present moment. He hasn't got it, but he's driving the Jeep, which means he has to be under the vehicle. Now, it did say the driver uses the machine gun if the Jeep is stationary. Okay. Otherwise, 1 or 2 of your soldiers must get in the Jeep to use the weapon. If rounds are underway, wait until operations resume to bring the Jeep on. Well, we're under operations, so we can bring it on. And this event may only occur once. So, okay. Which is a good thing, in a way. Well, it's a good thing anyway, because it's nice to have some additional firepower. We've got Hudson over here, who's been carrying Gibson. I think that might be the first primary use of the Jeep, is to get Gibson into the back of it, so I don't have to keep lugging him around, and making a roll every hex that he goes through to take it as a casualty. That's what I'm going to do. Now, as we're in operations, I can move that vehicle, and I'm moving it slow. So, and I know it has really no relevance. Well, actually, let's just check on that. Does it have relevance in the operations phase? Okay. So what's telling me is yes, I treat it as if it was infantry moving across the field. So every hex that enters, I've got to do a paragraph check. And it's unlikely, it says, that I will have to do a driving check during operations. So let's do that then. Okay, so we're entering in A17. I'm going to leave these guys here for the time being while we're just moving the Jeep. So I've got to check these because, yeah, there's brand new conditions. A17. No, my luck, there's a bloody 88 sitting out there somewhere. Right, A17. It's actually got the word event. Okay, let's roll for that event. And we roll 12. 302. Right. The US soldier with the highest PC rating that can see hex R8. Okay, so where's R8? BQR 8, 6, 7, 8. Well, that's way over there. None of my dudes can see R8. So you don't have to worry about that event then. I just place an event marker in there. Well, that was good. First hex, boom, event. Okay, let's go off road into B17. Don't fancy driving along the road in the Jeep, so that's what they're designed for, isn't it? B17. They also got an event. Oh, blimey. Okay. This time we rolled a 4. Okay. That's 320 again. Is that the one I just... Oh no. It was 302 I rolled. 320, right. If German 2 has been removed from play by evasive movement once, and an active US soldier has sight of T3. Oh, we're back to that T3 sighting. That dude there. I'll move that one. We don't have anyone with line of sight to this. So I'm going to place an event marker and move on back to the Jeep. Okay, into C17. None. Okay. D17. None. Okay. We can, I think, actually drive into trees, but is it really sensible? Woods for vehicles is 3. It's got a little 2 next to it, which means what? Large vehicles cannot enter woods hexes. Okay, this is a small vehicle. Alright, so we'll enter the woods then. E17. That's an event. Event roll is 1 plus, that's a 9. Event 9. .304. Can't have 3 or 4 because that's exactly what I got the Jeep from. So that event won't occur again. Okay. F17. As it drives by, Ambrose taps the vehicle. Excellent. F17. None. Into here. So it's G18. None. H17. None. And then comes into the hex with Hudson, which is I17. It's also none. Okay. So I just bring the driver and the Jeep over. Now they go under the counter, whereas the other ones go on top. So I show the drivers in the Jeep and Hudson with Gibson are outside the Jeep. So now Hudson puts Gibson in the Jeep, which means I do have to still make a roll. And on a 0, I kill him. It's an 8, so he's fine. Okay, and Hudson will now get in the Jeep as well. What's Hudson's weapon skill? He's -1. I want one other dude then to... We don't want it to be Dylan. So we need to get the Jeep back across this river, across the bridge. But before we move it, I want to keep on scouting out this area. This Jeep coming on was caused by Fitzpatrick entering this building here, which gives me, I'm going to write the building down, so it's J11, J12, J13. So that's J13. That's my first building hex. Whoop, whoop. And that gives me a VP, which takes my grand total to 5. It is a grand total. Okay, 5. Now what? Okay. So we've been having events and sightings that's mentioned that the original sniper that we saw way back in episode 3, he's moved somewhere around here if we get line of sight to this hex. Also, we've just had a line of sight indicate it's something to do with this hex. So in my mind, obviously we don't have line of sight, but we're hearing sounds. That's the way I'm visualizing here. So we know there's activity here. Is it civilian activity or is it actual German activity? At this stage, we don't know. So we're going to push on. And we're leaving behind a little bit here Dylan and Ambrose, and we're going to address that situation. So Dylan's going to stand up and he's going to cross the stream. So he goes into H16. It's an event check. I roll 0 and a 1. 0, 1 event. Ooh. Sending me to paragraph 301. If German 2 has been removed from play by evasive movement once, and an active U soldier is in sight of the U of hex U8. Where is U8? Okay. That's up there. Has anyone got line of sight to that? That's a good question. Ooh, that is a good question. We've got crest lines here that go all the way up to this. So anywhere behind that crest line, no. However, Fitzpatrick, it's a solid wall here. So the answer for him is no. So I don't think I've got anyone with line of sight. Fitzpatrick might have had, because he's on the upper level, or I know he's down, but he's away from the crest. But there's woods in the way, Mr. Sibley. There's woods in the way. He obviously can't see over there. So that's another potential where that bloody cheeky sniper could be. Okay, so that event didn't occur. So I'm going to put an event marker in that hex. And then move Dylan into I-16. Nothing there. And Soggy Dylan enters that hex and goes into crouch mode. Another bloody day in the army. Ambrose crawls to there, stands up, goes into there, into here, and joins Dylan and goes into a crouch. So we have both teams sorted together. Okay, now I want to get the Jeep across. Now the Jeep can't cross the stream. It's going to have to go via the bridge. So, could be entertaining. Now I'm going to put all the counters that are in the Jeep on this little card here, which is the soldier there. So we know I'm going to have Hudson controlling the medium machine gun. Okay, I've got my hand now. Okay, the incapacitated Gibson, and obviously the driver. So just makes it easier to move on the map. Back to the Jeep. So I-17 we know was clear. H-17 was clear. This was clear, so we're now going into F-16. That comes up with the word event. That's 14. Event 14. S7321. That's about Q10 again. Q10, which is that building marked in pink. No one as yet can see that, so no event. So I do mark that hex with an event marker, though I can't see me need to go back through that hex. Okay, then F13. It can't be F13. F15. Glasses, Mr. Sibley, glasses. F15. None. Okay, so he's going to enter F14, putting him on the road. F14. That says event. Roll those 2 dice. And that's 3. 0 and 3 is 3. Oh, that's new. Sighting 9, 309. 309. Okay, the US soldier with the highest PC that can see 05. 09, 07, 06, 05. So that's here. So there's lots of buildings in the way, no one can see. So no, that's a low event. Yeah, just double check, no one can see there. Okay, so go back to the Jeep. And now goes on to the bridge, which is X, F, G, G11, 12, 13, G14. Is that right? 11, 12, 13. Yeah, G14. So this we'll find out an 88's got it covered. None. Oh. That's a bit of an anticlimax. I'm assuming I have to go into this hex here rather than going across there. So it's H13. None. I'm actually going to go into here, which is I13. Which says 101. That's an ominous number, isn't it? Room 101. Conduct a PC check. If successful, C111. Conduct a PC check. Well, who's conducting a PC check? Doesn't say. I'm going to assume it's going to be someone. Normally you'd be moving there with a soldier. The person who's going to be observing is either going to be Hudson or the driver. The driver's watching the road. So I would say it'd be, unfortunately, Hudson. There is a perception of 1. He rolls a 2. So unsuccessful. So 101 is successful. C111. He wasn't successful. Okay. Then they are on the dirt road. That still should get marked with an event marker, shouldn't it? Because you only test once for each hex. So we're on to I14. They're sending me to paragraph 140. If sighting 1 has occurred, which it has, conduct a perception check. If successful, go to 104. If sighting 1 does not occur, go to 105. Well, it has occurred. Conduct a perception check. So his perception, as we said, is 1. He actually rolls a 1. C104. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Soldier notices fresh tyre tracks on the dirt road, heading towards J14. Wow. Okay. That would have been probably from the Kugelwagen. At which point he enters that hex and stops. Okay, so Ambrose says to Fitzpatrick, where's Fitzpatrick? That's Evans. Okay, Evans will do. Where's Fitzpatrick? Fitzpatrick's in the building. Oi, Evans, get in the Jeep and handle that bloody machine gun. Hudson, come down. But, sir... No, come down. You're now back on... You're back being a foot slogger. Don't know what happened there with my tongue. So, Fitzpatrick enters the vehicle. Actually, medium machine gun, that's going to need a crew of 2. Ambrose has a rethought and says, all right, Hudson, you can back up Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick is the main user of the machine gun. Hudson is making sure that it's aimed rather than snapshots that we're going to need. So that's everyone in the Jeep there. So we're not going to take the German away. Do I need to mark that hex? Show that I've gone through it. I should be able to remember, shouldn't I? But I'm going to put a green cube on it anyway. I like my little green cubes. I like my little cubes. I did say cubes. And I think I'm going to end it at that point. We've all right, we cleared the building last time. We've got across the stream now. So we're starting to get close to the village proper. The plan now will be to get the fire team over to here. And then we can start encroaching in on the central village itself. Let me bring you back up. It feels like a lot's happening in my mind. I'm trying to narrate that and I hope it's coming across that there is a lot happening. Yet when you look at the counters and how far they move, they haven't moved very far. So, but at least we're now in that first building, accumulating victory points. We're across the stream and we're getting ready now to move, as I say, into the centre of the village. Having that Jeep's nice. So I'm going to bring that up to the top to give me fire support. Medium machine gun, I assume, could do a lot of damage. We know that there are definite noises in that village. It hasn't defined what they are. We know that the sniper that we chased out of the earlier K building is back somewhere, and it's given me 2 potential places where he could be. So we'll just have to wait until we find out. Thank you for joining me on this. If you're still here, hit the subscribe button because you're obviously enjoying what I'm doing. And if you're doing that, hit that like because it helps in the YouTube bullshit algorithm. And then finally, all the comments, thoroughly enjoy. Let me know how you enjoy it, what you're enjoying, or what you're not enjoying. Maybe I'm going a bit too slow. So far, most comments are saying I'm going at the right pace. But maybe you're new to here, or you're saying I'll slow down a bit, because that's the sort of thing you don't notice when you're playing these games. You start thinking, I've got this, I've got that to do. Keeping control of the light, keeping control of the camera, keeping control of the narration, keeping control of the rules. It's a lot. And you might not notice, or I'm definitely not noticing if I've slowed down and been bogging it down, and you're also all sitting there going, which I want to avoid, of course. So until next time, have fun, enjoy your games. And I didn't say, buy internet. Buy internet.